What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Avionics action figure review. I'm Avionics, and in today's video we are taking a look at two new Thundercats figures from Super 7. This is part of the Wave 8, and we have Wilykit and Wilykat. And I've been waiting probably like 2 years for these two to show up because I have a Thundercats collection already. They're already on display, so now I can make room for these two because I'm basically done because I just want the core characters from the cartoon. And let's take a look at Wilykit's packaging first. Here she is in the front of the window. Super 7 typical packaging, especially for the Thundercats. On the back we have some artwork and a paragraph if you'd like to pause and read that. And then Wilykat, here he is with all of his accessories. Same front window packaging style. And on the back, there he is with his promo shot and then his or the artwork and then the description right there. He looks a little creepy in that artwork to me. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and unbox these, take a look at their accessories, and see how they scale with the other Thundercats I have. Alright, so here is Wilykit. We'll go over her action figure and her accessories first. So she comes with two head sculpts, and they are both very cartoon accurate looking, nice texture and paint of the hair. And they're solid heads from what I can tell. So it's kind of top heavy, so trying to balance her will be a little bit difficult, but that's why they have their boards acting as their action figure stand. But yeah, the paint looks really good, and yeah, accuracy from the cartoon looks really good. And we try and balance her back up again as we take a look at the second head sculpt here, which shows a little bit more expression. Her right eye is winking. It's a little bit different head sculpt as far as the hair and the paint. Very subtle, very just slight differences. There she goes, because she's top heavy with that head. And then she comes with a total of 5 hands. So here is the right hand by default out of the packaging. And then the right hand is the same pose. And then she comes with this right hand, which seems to be holding up one of her little explosive capsules in between the index finger and the thumb. And then she comes with a right hand that looks like she's could be using to grip her accessories. And then she comes with a left hand that's also gripping gesture or pose to hold her lasso. And speaking of lassos, they are red and they have a nice little texture along the handle, so slight details. They're really narrow, but she has this one in compact form before it comes out like this, where she strings it all out, ropes it all out, and it'll fit in her hands. We'll pose her up in that in a little bit. And then she comes with her effect, her board effect right here, which will act as a stand for the board. So I have some paint defects right there, but other than that, the paint looks really good. We have the peg right there, the Thundercats logo. On the other side, the mechanisms for movement with the hoverboard. And then we have the peg hole right here for the effect to attach to, like so. And then it does articulate right there at this joint, just a little bit. But yeah, she should be able to stand on that. That'll help her stand up straight. Let's go ahead and swap out some parts real quick. Alright, so I've swapped in the second head, and I put in the left gripping hand, but I'm finding that it's really loose in there, and it tends to just come out, even though it's supposed to stay in there. But it as you can see, it can't even hold up her lasso accessory straight up. It just wants to just spin freely, so that kind of sucks. Let's try out another hand here. Alright, so the right hand is a lot better. It's not as loose as the other one, so it looks like I'm not going to be using that hand for the left hand, which kind of sucks. So we'll put in another different hand, and this one, I think that's the one we had in there already. But that's the only other left hand, so I guess this left hand is going to stay there. So trying to peg her left foot forward, it doesn't really want to peg in properly. You have to really squeeze it down, and it just feels like the peg is just too short. I feel like the peg on the board should be a lot taller. As you can see there, it's really short, so I don't know why they made it so short. Let's try the right foot forward. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. It's just too short of a peg. But once you get it on there, I guess that'll help her stay standing and still with that big old noggin of hers. Oh, all right. Well, hopefully we have a little bit better luck with Wilykit standing up on his hoverboard, and he comes with a lot of hands here. So let's take a look at how accurate the head is first. And I say, yeah, that is a very great paint job and head sculpt that Super7 has done with our Wilykit or cat. Sometimes I keep mixing up their names, but yes, Wilykat is the boy, and Wilykit is the girl. And then here is the second head sculpt, which looks really good with a little bit more facial expression. So he's open mouth smiling, and it looks like, I don't know if this is oil on top of, oh yeah, it is oil. That's why it's shiny. Yes, just some oil. But yeah, the two heads side by side. Good paint job here. And then by default, coming out of the package, his hands. There's the right hand right there. And then the left hand. And they pivot side to side. I think the Wilykit did the same thing. So we have this one hand. It's just an action pose hand right here. That's his left hand. And then we have this right hand, which is like it comes with an effect, and his weapons. He's like throwing it in mid-action. So like a good mid-action pose of throwing his weapon. Forgot what his weapon is called. If you remember, let me know down in the comment section below and help us out. And then he has another one like that, but left hand, as you can see there. And then he has a right hand that is holding one of those balls, just like that. And then we have a left hand where it's gripping like so. Another right hand and an open fingers all splayed out. And then a right hand, another gripping right hand. Oh, I think we looked over that. So two gripping hands, right and the left. Two splayed out hands. And then those ones with the weapons. And then his lasso, it's the same thing as Wilykit's. It's just a beige color. So there's the expanded form and then the collapsed form, like that. We've got the same effect stand for the hoverboard with that articulation point up here. And then his is blue on the outside of the board. No paint defects on mine, thank God. So just one. And then the bottom, that's how the color scheme is for the bottom. So it's a different, actually it's a, let's see here. So here's Wilykit's, and then here's Wilykat's. So slight different paint variation there. All right, so here I swapped in the second head, and then the right hand is just holding one ball, and then the left hand, the one throwing with the throwing effect. And his hands are, so far, I haven't seen any defects as far as looseness, but so far these two are really good and stay in place and stay in their pose. So all the other hands were perfectly fine in the wrist. So here he is holding his lasso with two hands. All right, so yeah, just like Wilykit, having a hard time putting his feet in that peg on the hoverboard. But here's a shot of him on his hoverboard. And this is how I will display them on my shelf up there. And hopefully they don't fall off. Let's take a closer look at the action figures themselves now. So obviously cartoon accurate apparel and like just their appearance. So with her tunic, got the nice clean Thundercats logo, the one sleeve over the left shoulder, and then this armband over here, and then her belt with all of her little capsule explosives, and then her feet with just those like wraps that match her outfit, and then red belt. And then as far as Wilykat, he's got his belt, looks really good. Thundercats logo, and then the utility pouches on the belt. And it looks like, oh, I'm sorry, I did miss something. So we do have a peg hole on the back of the belt for the collapsed lasso. So let's see if it'll fit in here. All right, so there we go. So stowed away. And then for Wilykit, the same thing. Right there, right behind the right hip. Just kind of push that in there. I'm going to go ahead and that's how I'm going to have them displayed with these stowed away. I'm not going to actually have the open or expanded lasso in. If I can just get this in here, but eventually I will. I'm going to leave Wilykits out because I'm really having a hard time trying to get that in there. But yeah, the rest of... I'm going to take this one off too, off of Wilykat. But yeah, the nice cartoon accurate tunic, orange and brown, and then him with boots on. So as far as the appearance... I guess this hand doesn't want to stay in, so he's having a little bit of problems too, or maybe it just got loose taking the weapons out. But for the most part, it's in there. But yeah, I love the way they how accurate they are as far as appearance. Taking a look at articulation, we'll just use Wilykat here as an example. So his head's going to rotate all the way around, and they should be sharing the same articulation points. Arms laterally as far as up like that. Oh, be careful. We have some paint chipping right there. All the way around. And then a one joint at the elbow showing off that much range of motion. And then there is swiveling. And then these darn hands don't want to... He's starting to have problems now. The paint is chipping off. Let's see here. We do have waist articulation. And then as far as legs, all the way back, all the way forward. And this is soft pliable right here. So he should be able to go all the way up. And it's not... This thing is pretty soft. And then splits. Really good splits. And then as far as knees, we have one joint. And it goes far back as that. Not really that far back. And then typical feet articulation, hinging all the way back, all the way forward, and then a rocker swivel. And then, yeah, if you can use some, if you want to just stand them up with regular action figure stands, I probably recommend that instead, as those will have taller pegs. All right, now time for some size and scale comparison. So here is Wilykit and Wilykat with Chitara and Lionel. And then here they are with Tigra and Panthro. And then here they are with Mumra in pre-ever-living form and Jackalman. All right, wrapping up on the Super7 Wilykit and Wilykat review. First of all, I did forget to mention in the beginning that they are $60 each through Big Bad Toy Store. That's how I got them. They were readily available and they shipped out fast. And I'm glad I finally have them in my collection because now I'm done with Super7 Thundercats. I have my core line of heroes and my core line of villains. That's all I wanted. I don't want all those extra figures. So I'm really glad I have them in my line. As far as complaints and gripes, the hands don't want to stick into their designated sockets really good, and then their feet don't fit onto the peg of their hoverboards really good. So other than that, I'm just glad they look really good, accurate to the cartoon, and have them in my collection. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. And if you guys enjoyed watching this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps my video out. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified of more future reviews like this. Thanks for watching.